Sophia walked back through our front door after spending the evening with her lover, wearing a smile as if everything was perfectly normal. But I didn't return the smile. I looked her in the eye and said flatly, "You have 10 minutes to sign the divorce papers and leave my home." She never saw it coming, especially not the arrival of her lover's wife, who was about to help me turn this into a reckoning she'd never forget. When I first met Sophia, I believed we had something rare. She was magnetic, smart, ambitious, and exactly what I wanted in a life partner. We clicked instantly, complementing each other in ways that felt effortless. Our careers were demanding. She was a financial consultant, and I worked as an executive in luxury hospitality, but our busy schedules never seemed to get in the way. Or so I thought. It began subtly. The dinners we used to share without fail became less frequent. Sophia started working late more often, and I chalked it up to the competitive nature of our industries. I trusted her completely, until the night her phone buzzed while we were watching TV. She snatched it up, let out a nervous laugh, muted the call, and set it face down on the coffee table. "Who's that?" I asked, keeping my voice casual. "Just a client," she replied quickly, avoiding my gaze. "He's been a bit needy lately." Her words were plausible, but the tightness in her shoulders and the way she gripped her phone told another story. That was the moment doubt slipped in, and it refused to leave. Over the next few weeks, the signs multiplied. Her late nights grew more frequent, coinciding with an increasing number of missed calls and urgent work texts. She became colder, more distant. The connection we once had was fading, and I couldn't shake the suspicion that something was deeply wrong. One Friday, when she headed out for yet another client meeting, I sat down at her laptop. She'd forgotten to log out of her email, and what I found there confirmed my worst fears. Dozens of emails from a man named Adrian. Explicit, detailed, and outlining plans for fancy dinners and hotel stays. Adrian wasn't just some random fling. He was married. And the real punch to the gut? I had met his wife, Amal, at one of Sophia's work events. Suddenly, all the little clues clicked into place, the extra laughter, the stolen glances. I had enough to confront her, but I wanted more than just the truth. I wanted undeniable proof. For the next month, I had a private investigator follow her. The photos and videos he brought back erased any lingering hope I had left. Sophia and Adrian were without question having an affair. But there was an unexpected twist. The investigator discovered that Amal had no idea her husband was cheating. The irony wasn't lost on me. Adrian had brazenly pursued my wife, blind to the fact that his own downfall was looming. I sent Amal an anonymous package containing everything I'd gathered, along with a short note. "You deserve to know the truth. Call me if you want to talk." A few days later, my phone rang. Amal was on the line, hurt, furious, but composed. We met at a quiet cafe and laid everything out. Her husband's betrayal, my wife's deception, and the emotional wreckage they'd left behind. "I'm going to confront him," she said firmly, her voice steady despite the tears in her eyes. "But I want it to be something he'll never forget." That sparked an idea. What if we face them together? I suggested. They think they've gotten away with this. Let's prove them wrong. Her lips curved into the first smile I'd seen that night. "I like the way you think." We spent weeks preparing the perfect confrontation. It all came together on a Saturday night when Sophia claimed she'd be working late. I knew exactly where she'd be, dining with Adrian at an upscale downtown restaurant. Amal and I arrived early, choosing a table tucked in the corner. Sure enough, they walked in hand, laughing as if nothing in the world could touch them. My anger burned, but I held it in. Timing was everything. As their outrays were served, Amal and I stood and walked straight to their table. The shock on their faces was worth every second of planning. "Sophia," I said, my voice cold, "you forgot to tell me you'd be dining with Adrian tonight." "And Adrian," Amal added with icy precision, "I see you've been keeping yourself very busy." The room fell silent. Sophia's face flushed crimson. "Jacob, I can explain." "You'll have plenty of time for that," I cut her off, placing a folder on the table. These are divorce papers. You have 10 minutes to sign them, then pack your things and get out of my house. Divorce? She echoed, as if the word was foreign. You're being ridiculous. No, Sophia, I said evenly. What's ridiculous is thinking I wouldn't find out. What's ridiculous is throwing away our marriage for this. Adrian started to rise, but Amal's hand pressed him firmly back into his seat. You're not going anywhere, Adrian. We're far from done. She pulled out her own folder and slid it toward him. Your company's board will be receiving this on Monday, proof that you used company funds to wine and dine your mistress. Adrian's face went pale. You wouldn't. Oh, I would, Amal replied coolly. And I will. Sophia left that night with nothing but the clothes she was wearing. By morning, I'd changed the locks and sent her belongings to her parents' house. She tried calling, texting, even showing up at my office, but I never saw her again. Within months, our divorce was finalized, and she walked away with far less than she'd imagined. Adrian's downfall came just as swiftly. Amal kept her word, and within days of the board receiving the evidence, he was fired. Word of the affair spread quickly, and Amal filed for divorce soon after. Last I heard, Adrian was living in a shabby apartment, miles away from the luxury he once flaunted. Amal and I stayed in contact, supporting each other as we rebuilt our lives. In time, we both found peace in knowing we'd taken back control. Betrayal might break you, but it also shows you what you're capable of surviving. And sometimes, the most powerful revenge isn't just exposing the truth. It's making sure the ones who wronged you will never forget the cost of their actions. Because in the end, justice isn't only about what you lose. It's about what you reclaim when you take back your power.